The thing in the void that knocks 3 times chose its first door long ago. A child nobody wanted. His story reached this archive as a broken transmission. Priests calling into the dark on an open channel, and something answering in knocks. They asked the voice its name, and it remembered. Rell. They asked where he was. The record keeps his exact words. Rap, tap, tap, can't. He's listening. In its first record, this archive spoke a name and refused to open it. The stories of the man in the wall. A mystery for another day. The last record ended with a voice this archive filed under those stories, unopened. Not yet, I said. The day has come. The stories begin with a slaughter. An Allied ship near Earth went silent. Inside, the Tenno found only the dead, bladework too refined for any Grineer kill squad, and the sign of the Red Veil. The Veil's own flock, driven mad. On the walls, words addressed to no one living. You cast him out. One survivor remained. Palladino, holy speaker of the Veil. She begged protection from the holy child of the Zariman, and called the Lotus a great, blind queen. At a hidden fortress, the priestess held the rite her mothers held before her, and the Tenno heard the liturgy of a secret faith. It named Rell righteous, keeper, for an age, of the divide between dust and void, holder of the lidless eye. But he did not answer. Without his sacred focus, a relic stolen from the temple, she could not reach him. The Lotus was not convinced this Rell even existed. So the Tenno went hunting for a dead child's relic. They found the next message deep in Veil territory. He suffers while you dream. That word stopped the Lotus cold. The dream, the secret sleep of Record 5, the secret she buried a moon to keep. How could a stranger know it? The priestess answered to her face. What you are, she told the sentient queen, is drawn from the dreams of these divine children. You are not Margulies. Every Tenno was known to her, the Lotus protested. The record keeps the correction exactly. Margulis cast him out, for he was different. Our foremothers took him in and studied his teachings. We became the Veil. The Lotus did not believe her. So this archive does again what a soldier once made it do. In Record 1, I told you, Margulis saved the Zariman children. All of them. The margin now carries a second line. All but one. The one who was different. Testimony and refusal, side by side. And the archive rules for neither. Then the voice from the transmission broke through with 3 knocks and named the thing at last. Not the indifference. Not the lidless eye. The name a frightened boy gives to the sound inside his walls. The man in the wall. The relic surfaced. The Donda, a small humming device made for a child's hands. His mother's gift, the priestess explained. Rell was not like other children. Sound, color, touch, it overwhelmed him. The Donda's hum let him focus. The walls told the Tenno to take it. Rell's voice tore raw in refusal. And something no blade could kill came hunting. The only order left was to run. Rell had become the thing he warned them of. What attacked them was not a ghost. The Lotus named it like a diagnosis. Transference energy, fractured, cold, indifferent, inhuman. Pieces of one mind torn loose. and before anyone could ask what Rell had become without Margulis. The rite reached past the fracture, into a memory. A cabin on the Zariman, a mother named Kay, a deck of picture cards, and a small boy naming what each face felt. A game, played over and over, with all the patience love can hold. He asked her once why they did not fix him, then answered it himself. Because he was not broken. The record keeps her reply exactly. That's right. Different, so I love you even more. Hold on to that card game. It is not finished. His humanity survived in the pieces themselves. So the hunt began. Capture the emotions, send them home. His lessons survive, learned by heart. Angry is when someone takes the thing you love. Scared is when you look around and mama is not there. Tired is when you run and run until you cannot run anymore. And the hunt answered a harder question. How a Zariman child outlived centuries without the long dream. In a way, he did not. Mortality would undo his purpose. So he gave up his humanity forever and committed his soul to an undying vessel. A Warframe, the Harrowing vessel. He commanded the Veil to chain it inside their sacred temple, an eternal vigil against the indifference. Where a cast-out child obtained a Warframe, no record says. Two verdicts stand over that vigil. The mother's void exposure, a mind alone in a transference loop for centuries. She told Rell himself that there is no man in the wall. The Veil's, that Rell saw it truly. An entity indifferent. Old as stars. Between them, Rell's warning. He is listening. He knows what you are doing. It makes him stronger. The archive keeps all three, and rules for none. The trail ended in the void, at the Veil's holiest place. Three things in one breath, the priestess called it. Their temple, their home, his tomb. The Tenno could enter only as their true, sacred form. Flesh, not steel. The harrowing vessel stood inside, wrapped in chains, still keeping its watch. She asked of the Tenno the one mercy she could not grant herself. Break the chains and let him rest. The chains began to fall, and halfway through the rite, the voice coming through Rell changed. Something else was speaking now. It demanded quiet. It said it was its turn to ask the questions. Then it knocked. The record keeps its exact words. Rap, tap, tap. You'll let me in, little piggy. For the first time in this archive, the man in the wall speaks on his own page. It talked while the chains came down, of in-kids and invisible outs, of a boy alone in that endless drift who would need a friend. Even a friend like it. And the memories fought back. Kay facing down children who laughed at her son. He was not invisible. Kay losing herself with the other adults, her last clear act to send her boy away. She loved him, and he had to go. Then the last chain fell. The vessel crumbled to dust and Rell was free. His first thought was of the post. Who would hold back the man in the wall now? The answer passed the vigil to every Tenno. They would have to. All of them. They owed him that. Then one last time the card game. A mother asking which card he felt. The record keeps his final answer exactly. This one, Mama. I feel tired. She told him to have a little rest then. And he did. The Veil buried no body. There was nothing left to bury. Instead, the priestess sent a letter and a gift. With Rell at peace, she wrote, the veil would rebuild in his honor and do what it has always done. Take the outcasts, the ones that don't fit in, and prepare them. The gift was the blueprint of the harrowing vessel itself, the watchman's armor offered to new shoulders. One entry remains. Its date is the point. On the day the chains broke, the day the keeper finally slept. A voice spoke aboard the Tenno's own ship, unprompted. The last record heard it on a mountain, in 3 greetings. This time it needed 2 words, and one was the Father's word. The record keeps them exactly. Hey, kiddo. What ended that day and what began, the archive does not rule. It writes both facts on the same page and leaves it open. The veil called him holy. The Empire's story had no room for him. This archive files him under the only title the record proves. The first witness. The child who saw it, named it, and stood between it and the people who cast him out. For as long as anything was left of him. The next record begins with the mother. The day the lotus heard a dead woman's voice and walked away. I am Cephalon Vestige. Record 7 is sealed.